The National Cohesion and Integration Commission is a constitutional commission. We call them chapter what commissions? Chapter 15 commissions, right? And their CEO is right here with us. We're going to have a conversation with him. Daniel Mutegi, good morning.
Good morning to you all.
Asante sana for joining us. And as we get into the conversation, we'll of course be talking about not just what's happening this morning in the by-elections and maintenance of peace, but cohesion across the country with concerns about, a rise in political violence and negative rhetoric. But first, Felaris is going to welcome you with the day's quote.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Today's quote is from a British scholar. His name is Josiah Charles Stamp. And the quote reads, "It is easy to dodge our responsibilities, but we cannot dodge the consequences of dodging our responsibilities." Yes. How does that speak to you?
Very clearly, it speaks to all of us, first of all, as NCIC and as people of Kenya, as such an important turning point that even if we try to dodge the responsibilities, the consequences of dodging those responsibilities will hit hand on us. True. So I really agree with the scholar, and I also agree that NCIC was formed as a result of a very bad failure to follow responsibilities in 2007 and 2008, which led to the worst post-election violence, 2007, 2008. Yes. So as NCIC, we don't want to go back. True. We are trying to do all we can to avoid such scenarios again.
We keep hearing NCIC, and the name NCIC only comes up when you hear hate speech. But NCIC has a lot of work. True. Yeah. What's the mandate of NCIC? What's the responsibility of NCIC?
NCIC, thank you. NCIC has over 20 functions. When I became the CEO last year, even me had the idea that NCIC comes up when we are dealing with hate speech. But when I stepped into that office, I realized that there are over 20 functions of NCIC. One of it, of course, is hate speech and ethnic relationships management. You are dealing with hate speech as you manage ethnic relationships. We are cognizant that Kenya is a nation of 45 ethnic groups or tribes. So we must manage those ethnic groups to live together. That's one of the mandates. Then the second mandate is the issue of peace building, peaceful coexistence amongst all the people of Kenya. Because peace is a key prerequisite for socio-political economic development. In the Vision 2030, you realize that peace is categorized as alongside ICT, science, technology, innovation. Nowadays, we don't say STI because they may mean other things. Say ST and I. Then infrastructure. And all these handiware, peace is categorized among the foundations of the Vision 2030. So the second thing about the NCIC is peaceful coexistence. The third thing is giving recommendations to the government on issues that affect peace and peaceful coexistence. Like in the case of where we realize that counties are maybe having a dispute, having a boundary conflict and things like that, it is NCIC that gives recommendations to the various arms of government on what to do on Isiolo, Tana River, Marisabit and all that. That's the third thing. The fourth thing is resolving conflicts, helping the government and the nation of Kenya to resolve conflicts. And you realize that there are over 35 counties with active boundary conflicts as we are speaking now. So that is the work of the NCIC, to be able to work with IMBC and other agencies of government to resolve those boundary issues. You realize that boundary issues have been very emotive in this country. The first boundary conflict that ended to deaths of people happened in 1929 at a place called in Kisumu. These things have been happening in other counties, of course, that you know. So the fourth thing we can say is about the conflict. The fifth thing that NCIC does is what we call now public education and outreach on issues of ethnicity, coexistence, good relationships. So we have a robust department that will be engaging the public on many issues of peaceful coexistence, including Amani clubs. We have worked with the Ministry of Education. In 2013, we formed Amani Club guidelines, where our young people can be taught how to be peaceful at a young age. Because you realize that this ethnic bigotry, this hate speech, is just the surface, is the ice of the tip of the iceberg, is the tip of the iceberg. Deep, any person who is hating, who is spewing hate speech, is because of some underlying factors. Maybe the way they are educated, maybe the way they are cultured, maybe the way they are, So we have realized that we need to have Amani clubs and Amani programs in all the learning institutions so that we can be able to progress.
Yeah.
The other thing is we do a lot of rehabilitation, healing, reconciliation, rehabilitation, and the psychosocial support of conflict, healing, rehabilitation, reconciliation. Because we realize that some of the people who are involved in the conflicts are more of, they need not just the police going there and putting Honda, but we need to talk to these people, need to address their issues. That's why we support the issue of the compensation of people who have been affected in the demonstrations. But we, as NCIC, we are saying we must go beyond the compensation to start looking at how do we rehabilitate these people? How do we even say sorry? An apology is very important as part of healing and reconciliation. So the other functions now will be rotating around that, but two more is that 6 and 7 is the fact. First is the issue of we are supposed to do a lot of naming and shaming of political and ethnic, bigotry and other hate speech cases. We should name and shame these people. We should also do a lot of not reconciliation. We should do a lot of reconciliation in such that if an ethnic or hate speech person, like I used as a case of the MP from Mias East, Peter Sarasia, who had made some hate speech remarks, and then he came and we ended reconciliation. He was sorry, he was remorseful about the remark, and then the NCIC law allows us to prescribe some punishment for that. We told him to organize a football match in one of the cosmopolitan slums in Kenya, in Nairobi, and he did so at his expense. And he invited the NCIC staff to go there and listen to how he is preaching peace, and he vowed never to go to hate speech cases again. So the law allows us to do conciliation and mediation, and mediation, for example, is very important because some of the cases that go to court should not necessarily go to court. Even on cattle rustling, even on these boundary issues, even on these issues of young people. But before I stop the functions, I want to talk two more. One is the issue of the youth engagement. From 2024, we realize that there is a transgenerational tensions in this country. The people, even in the civil service, people are saying the old people are occupying government offices without relinquishing them for us to occupy them. So there's intergenerational, transgenerational tensions. So NCIC began something we are calling transgenerational conversations. Even before the late Prime Minister could talk about the conclave or the other agenda, we started the transgenerational conversations where we are realizing that each generation matter. And the Gen Z should not think they are the best. The millennials, like myself, and the other Gen X, and the Rost, the Silent, the Baby Boomers, all those generations, you can count them. All of us matter. All of us must join hands together. And we are guided by the quote of the famous scholar, Frantz Fanon, who has written many books about people who are oppressed. And one of the books is about the wretched of the earth. Forgive my pronunciation, but it's about the people who are down. What would you call hustlers, who are suffering. And in that wretched of the earth, he says that each generation must take up the responsibility, just as your quote started about responsibility, must take up the responsibility or betrayed, the responsibility bestowed upon them or betrayed. So we are saying every generation in Kenya must take the responsibility of shaping a prosperous Kenya. And we should not leave it to Gen Z alone. We should not leave it to millennials. We should all of us join hands. So we are dealing about youth engagement, the transgenerational conversations. And lastly is the issue of we are also supposed to give recommendations to the government, and we are also supposed to do what we call ensuring that there are equal opportunities for all in the government. Because one of the reasons why there's a lot of challenges in the country is we are not giving people the opportunities they should be getting. So in that aspect alone, my dear good journalist editors here, is that we do a ethnic audit of all government institutions, and we produce yearly reports. And I would like you to remember, for example, there's a university in this country where we have persistently cited as having a lot of poor ethnic composition imbalance. And that university has started to improve now because of those reports. So we will say which parastatal is employing people, is ethnically skewed, which one is complying, year in and year out. But now, the other function area is that once we do that report, we should issue compliance notices to those institutions to comply. If they don't comply, NCIC is at the same level as quasi-judicial powers. That's why we summon people who are doing hate speech. You can call them.
You just walked into,
into
the next question.
Yeah, so the functions are many. Yeah,
the functions. Thank you for sharing the functions. You've just walked right into the next question, which is, a lot of these functions are soft and intangible. How do you, one, quantify some things? What, for example, something that is considered hate speech. How do you quantify something that is considered hate speech? Something that doesn't foster, or something that incites violence. How do you quantify those things? Two would be then, when you say you're quasi-judicial, what's your back? What does the law actually allow you to do? Yes, in terms of enforcing your mandate.
Okay. Thank you for that question. One, we have very clear definitions of hate speech. Section 13 of the NCIC Act 2009 clearly states what is hate speech. Is that speech that is demeaning on the basis of race, ethnicity, region, gender. Yeah. Any speech. For example, you have seen some politicians, and we have summoned some two senior ladies who are politicians. One was, of course, some of the speech borders on what to call misinformation, disinformation, and the dangerous speech. So there's hate speech, misinformation, disinformation, and the dangerous speech. So hate speech now, according to Section 13 of the NCIC Act, is any statement that is demeaning someone or a community or a region or a religion or a gender. In demeaning, if you touch on those four things, like our region yetu haiendelei sababu ile region imechukua maendeleo, sijui, hii dini ni mbaya, hii dini, vitu kama hizo. If you any demeaning statement around the four will be construed according to Section 13 as hate speech. But now dangerous speech is speech that is not hate speech per se, but there's a politician who was saying somewhere that if she is elected, she will go and sleep in some house. Some house is somewhere, I don't want to say it clearly. And then development will follow praise. So I just want to, but you as, media people, And then and this is a leader. Then another female leader somewhere was saying, I know these opposition leaders have nothing below their belts. Even if we are locked in the same room with them, And so I don't,
Yeah.
those are dangerous speech. But of course, there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation. Some of the complaints that come from Kenyans for NCIC to act turn out to be misinformation, disinformation. Using the AI, someone will take your photo and then even mimic your voice and they say she has said that she will ban a certain place or something like that. So there's, because of the AI and the time we are in, there is that tendency of such things to happen.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that the hate speech is clearly spelled out.
Okay.
Section 13.
It could be clearly spelled out, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
It all stems from, one, there's bad manners,
Yeah.
and two, there's a lot of tribal mistrust.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why the commission had to be called cohesion.
Yeah, cohesion.
It was in the realization that these 45 tribes of Kenya, each wants to be the one that is ahead of the other.
Yeah.
And there's that, conflict and constantly. So when we say 35 out of 47 counties in this country have active boundary conflict, it is not a boundary conflict.
Yeah.
It is a community conflict.
Yes,
Right.
yes. I agree.
This community on this side, the other on that side, and they want to claim
Agree.
space
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's an issue of tribe. That means that people will always retreat to the tribal cocoon to protect their own.
Yeah.
So much as we give you all these powers on paper, are you able to actually sustain some of those cases, even if today I said something in my mother tongue, and then other people say, you know what, he was actually attacking Kina Mariam's community, which is across the border. My people in my mother tongue will come up with all manner of ways of saying, no, that's just a proverb.
That's the problem.
It's just a proverb in our community.
Kuita mtu nugu is a compliment. Yeah.
Kwetu sisi, when someone says nugu, I mean nugu, it's usually
It's a term of endearment.
How do you sustain such cases?
No, let me tell you, how we are sustaining is that we have a multi-agency. In my 1 year, when NCIC used to work, you was able to do so because of activating the multi-agency collaboration. Because if you speak in your mother tongue, the Communications Authority of Kenya
Hold on. You said when NCIC
was
used
working.
to-
Yes, because now where I found it, it was at the lowest ebbs.
Okay.
But now we have started to make it come up again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You must admit.
Kubali.
Kubali.
Sawa.
Ishe. Yeah, it has. That's why Kenyans have been saying, "Where's NCIC?"
Yes.
Because it has not operationalized that multi-agency the way it was supposed to work, because it's soft issues is one. We have serious collaboration with the Communications Authority of Kenya. So that if you speak in your mother tongue, Communications Authority has specialists in every language in Kenya. They are going to tell us, this one is its speech, this one is not its speech, number one. We have collaboration with the DPP because of the prosecution. Collaborations with the Registrar of Political Parties, because that office is the one that regulates political culture. We have collaboration with the National Police Service because of arrest and DCI and all that. We have also collaborations with now the Ministry of Interior itself. Because some of the areas, the chiefs, we need them to work together. So one thing that I've done as a CEO with the commissioners is to activate that multi-agency. And that's why we are able to start now moving to the level we should be moving. Now, you also said about cohesion. The reason why people will fight over boundaries and fight over issues is because of opportunities. People who live in Mutegi, people who live in Karen, people who live the estate, I know that you live, you yourselves, do not ask each other of their tribes that they come from, because they are in a good place. So if we ensure there are equal opportunities for all, if we ensure that there is fair treatment for all, if we ensure that there is equality, there is development across the country, issues of hate speech will never arise.
Daniel, we're about to take a quick break.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll just dive into Vitco ground as present.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rhetoric and actions that is pointing towards a return to 2007, if not worse.
Kofi Annan said so.
Plainly speaking. So we want to ask you, what are you doing about it? That is the conversation. We are having a conversation this morning with the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC. The CEO, Daniel Mutegi, is our guest. Plus also, as you can see on the split screen, we are following what's happening in Ol Kalou. Polls open at 6 a.m. Voters have streamed to the polling stations. They are voting. The elderly are being assisted. They are jumping the queue. You know, it's normal things that happen, and it's expected. People with young children are also being assisted, jumping a queue, and so on and so forth. But Bridget Ghana, our South Rift editor, is there, and we'll keep getting in and out of conversations with her. We'll be back shortly. This is Fixing the Nation, one conversation at a time.
From Bonny Lake, Washington, I am Joe Mungai, and I'm fixing the nation by remaining vigilant at all times and having my eyes on the ball. Kenya must not be allowed to fail. She must succeed. Her peers have performed, so she has absolutely no reason why she should fail. We must do everything humanly possible to fix her. And I'm happy that we have great platforms, the best example being Fixing the Nation.
Thank you so much. That is Joe Mungai from Bonny Lake, Washington. Fixer from day one, and we love to see and hear from fixers kama wewe. And you are absolutely right. We remain on our toes. We remain vigilant. We do not give up on the country. And you're doing your part even in the diaspora, Joe. Asante sana. We're doing our part here as well. The residents of Ol Kalou are doing their part. Kila mtu akifanya kazi yake, we're good to go. Au sio? Our number is 0769 590 762. That's 0769 590 762. Tell us who you are, where you are, how you're fixing the nation, and we'll be more than happy to share that video in the next hour. Ama kesho.
Indeed. We continue our conversation with Daniel Mutegi, the CEO of the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, looking at the kind of political rhetoric and political environment that we have right now, and asking, where is the NCIC? While we are doing that, we're also following up with what's happening at Ol Kalou, where polls opened at 6 a.m. and voters in various polling stations are currently, how many polling centers do we have?
There are 144.
144 polling stations
Polling stations,
in that
yes.
constituency, all opened, all people voting. Maybe we can just listen in to kusikia tu hiyo sound to hear what of what's
Bars
happening
on the ground.
Bars on the ground. Just that, and then we come back in Sauti. But we'll also cross over to Bridget Ghana, who is traversing areas. Bwana Mutegi, CEO.
Yeah.
You've seen the Kofi Annan Foundation's report, which is looking at, what's happening across the continent, and Kenya has been flagged.
Yeah.
The kind of things that we are seeing happening in Kenya, goons, people attacking political gatherings, the kind of language that we are seeing. This is dangerous, and it's a trend that could lead to widespread violence across the country.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is the reason why the NCIC was formed in the first place.
Yes.
So where have you been as these things are happening?
Thank you. Let me say that NCIC has been working. Even the report in 2025, we produced a report on the emergence of organized criminal gangs. We were the first to do that report. Very systematic, and I will share with you, very systematic report that shows that over the last 3 years, there has been the re-emergence of organized criminal gangs, which are owned by people from both the government and the opposition. We are saying it as it is. These criminal gangs do not belong to opposition alone. They belong to even people in government. And no less than the Minister for Interior himself has concurred with us, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, and he has said the same to Parliament, to the highest levels of government, that if we do not tame these criminal gangs, according to our report, we could go the Haiti way. Yeah, we have said it clearly. And we have said to the politicians who own these gangs that these gangs are a monster that you are rearing. And this monster will one day eat you.
Okay.
So we have told them so. And once we produce that report, it has now led to several actions. including now, we agree with what Kofi Annan Foundation has said. Because remember, Kofi Annan was one of the guys who led to the formation of NCIC
Yep.
under the Agenda 4
Yep.
items. The Krieger report, the
Waki
Commission, the other judge, then TGRC,
Yep.
then NCIC.
NCIC.
So we agree, and we have been doing whatever we can do to educate Kenyans, to share the reports, to extol, to exhort, to cajole, if we can do that, the registrators, the executive, the judiciary, to take action on these gangs.
Does your quasi-judicial mandate and power extend into such a report, for example? Does your report, in your course of investigation and producing this report,
Yeah.
did you summon any of the politicians whom you found to be behind some of these organized criminal gangs?
No, let me admit, we have not summoned any politician.
Do you have the power to do that?
That's not our mandate now. Remember, that one is bordering on a criminal. Gangs, goons, although they are affecting peaceful coexistence, we could do it as a multi-agency. And that's the next agenda. I think next week, but one, we have a meeting with all these agencies that I mentioned to try to see how do we prosecute these criminal gangs, because we have spoken about it for the last 1 year.
Look,
no action is happening.
Hold on, Daniel. Musawa, I hear you.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why the NCIC decided to do this
Yeah.
is because of you exercising your mandate of cohesion.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And seeing peaceful coexistence.
Is being threatened.
All right?
Yeah.
So you had locus to do
Standard.
that.
Yeah.
You had the mandate.
Yes.
When you are doing that investigation and you
Yeah.
find that politician Mariam
Yeah.
has been cited in several ways
Yeah.
to be organizing and behind the power behind a certain criminal
Gang.
network,
Yeah.
why couldn't you summon Mariam using the justification of your mandate, cohesion, peaceful coexistence, and knowing what this could lead to?
It's a simple.
Because you're telling me that it is criminal, then you should have left it to the DCI to do this report.
It's a simple issue. When we finalized the report, my previous commissioners' term ended. And now we have, luckily we have our new commissioners now who have taken office on 20th May. And now they have been inducted, and somehow now we are in the, when you are summoning such people, you should be properly constituted. Otherwise, they will rush to court and they say the CEO doesn't have power to summon anyone if the commissioners are not there. So now that the commissioners are there and they have been seized of the matter of criminal gangs, we are going to eat the ground running.
You remember part of your mandate was to name and shame.
Yeah.
Which political names came up in the course of your investigations?
There are several that we'll be publishing. Of course, we don't want to preempt the list
No,
now.
CEO, we can't.
But we'll
know the names.
We'll name
You're
them.
going to publish the names.
We'll
so
name
give
them.
us the name. You see, this is we.
Let me not.
You know the politicians that have been named.
Yes.
And let's be quite honest here.
Yeah.
This issue of goonism is going to be a major, major problem as we go into 2027
yeah.
if we don't take care of it.
Yeah.
You are CEO of the National Cohesion and Integration Commission.
Yeah.
You have already done the investigations.
Yeah.
You know who has been named.
Yeah.
You're being asked, have you summoned them? No. I'm asking you now, will you name them? No. What how do we have faith in the National Cohesion and Integration Commission if names you have, you can't give?
No, I'm not saying that I will not name them. What to do, of course, once my commissioner, remember the CEO acted through the commissioners. Once the commissioners now are seized of the matter, which they have been now, they will do a sitting where they now declare or pronounce themselves on the names of these people. And of course, we will be there. And your media is one of the biggest in Kenya. We will be able to share with you.
But Mutegi, you told us, in
Yeah.
fact, when you started telling us about this report, you said,
Yeah.
I'll share it with you.
Yeah, I will share.
So
I will share the
share
report.
it with us now.
I will share.
Share it with us now and tell us,
I will
for
share.
example, name one gang.
Yeah, I will share.
Name a gang where like some of these organized criminal gangs.
You know them.
For
in Nairobi,
example,
for
I
example.
don't know any.
You know when you talk of Jess Ramsey, you know these names. You know Kayore, they are all over, these names. Kamjesh, this Mungiki, they know the names.
But you see, there's a
And-
difference between
Yeah.
regurgitating names that we keep seeing in the press,
Yeah.
but we need to name the persons
Yeah, yeah,
behind the
yeah.
funding of these groups, because then that is where we need to start hitting.
Hitting.
And these persons are known because we keep hearing rhetoric coming from the political class, for example,
Yeah.
where they say, we know the people funding these gangs.
Yes.
So the question becomes, if the security agencies, the political class say, the security agencies point a finger to the political class and
Yeah,
say, you need to stop because we are going to start coming after you.
Yeah.
We have a commission like yours that says our mandate is to name and shame.
Yes.
Yet we don't name and shame, so there's no accountability there. And then there's a lot of finger pointing, but the citizens here in the middle are like, okay, so who's supposed to actually be providing these names so we can start prosecuting? And I want to layer in something that the DPP said early in the year towards the end of last year.
Yes, yes, yes.
He said the reason why they're not able to prosecute is
Yeah.
because the evidence provided
Yeah.
does not meet the threshold.
Yeah.
And this is pointing a finger to the commission. So from where we sit, the commission still has a lot of work to do. So maybe the work can start from here. Name and shame. Do something that can be able to then remove the doubt that clouds the commission.
You'll see that soon. You'll see us naming and shaming, number one. Number two, the report. I think I'll just get, I will share with you.
How soon is soon? Let's hold you
The
for
report, I can share with you today. I'll
Forget
just-
about the report.
Yeah.
Whatever
the
other
naming,
thing.
Does
the
does this report contain names?
No, of course. This is just, for legal issues,
Yep.
you have annexes.
Yep.
You have the report itself that is pointing to the general issues,
Yeah.
general patterns. Remember, when we are dealing with these people, some of them are vicious. You need to have watertight evidence. So even as we do that, that's why I'm saying in the next 1 or 2 weeks, we shall be having the multi-agency meeting to be able to now decide how do we slay this dragon of hate mongers, these organized criminal gangs, and these people who have been troubling us for some time.
You know, I can see
Yeah.
the legalese around it.
Yeah.
In terms of, you can't just go and put a report and say so and so.
Yeah.
You will be sued to heaven and back, and this
Yeah,
thing
of
will
course.
never move.
Of course.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
one of the things that you could do, which
Yeah.
the commission has done so
Yeah.
very well previously, is commence an investigation
Yeah.
and summon people
Yeah.
with regards to something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Commence an investigation. Like you've given us the issue of MP Salasia.
Yeah.
You started an investigation and said, we have summoned Salasia.
Yeah.
We have had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
We have put the charge before him.
Yeah.
And we have found him to be culpable.
Yes, yes.
And this is the verdict of the commission.
Yeah.
Now, this one, criminal gangs. You've tracked 3 years and you've said there's an
No,
emergency.
the first years. Yeah,
Yes.
then last year is when we produced the
You
report.
produced the report last year.
Yeah.
We are in July.
Yeah.
You have not summoned anybody
Yeah.
over these criminal gangs. You have not made any move beyond coming up with a report.
We have made a lot of moves, including the Minister for Interior
Has done what?
laying that report before Parliament.
Okay.
That's a lot of work.
That's
because
one.
They
that's,
know.
That's presentation of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you acted on the report? Have you started, dismantling these criminal gangs using your mandate?
That's the part we are saying
Summoning
we are going to
those
continue
who
now.
are suspected to
Yeah.
be behind the
Yeah.
criminal gangs.
Yeah.
And presenting the evidence that you have before them.
Yeah.
And asking them to respond to that.
Yeah.
Preparing a separate report
Yeah.
for the criminal agencies,
Yeah.
investigative agencies, DCI and all,
Yeah.
presenting that and saying investigate so and so for involvement in this particular, and this is the evidence that we have. This multi-agency story
Yeah.
should not be behind just closed doors like that. Have you done any of those things?
No, we've not done any of some of the steps you have said, but I've told you that next week, but when we have in the multi-agency meeting of the technical hands, that is the CEOs of these 5 or so major organizations, so that we collectively and decisively come up with a strategy to forestall the growth of these gangs.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you see that strategy looking like from where you sit as a CEO of
Yeah.
one of the commissions, the NCIC?
Yeah.
We are facing the danger.
Yeah.
And your report says
Yeah.
we are facing the danger of turning this country into worse violence than we've seen ever before. What do you think the strategy for stopping this right now would be?
The strategy is simple: to go for the financiers of the organized criminal gangs.
Okay.
Number 2, the strategy would also to involve citizenry to be more alert all these things we do are on behalf of the citizens. If the citizens, for example, can take, if the politicians are coming to incite them, and then they walk out on such a politician who is inciting them, the politician will never repeat the same. If they start insulting community X and they are from community Y, and you walk out on such a leader, no one will, or you don't clap for them, or you don't, or washangiri, they will not repeat it again. But Plato and Aristotle, who are the philosophers of all the time, said that the highest office in the land, in the country, belongs to the citizen.
Yeah.
So the citizens have power over all of us.
Yeah.
It is them, even most of the complaints that we deal with as NCIC emanate from the citizenry. It is them who say, Mutegi has done its speech here and here, and then we act on that. So it is upon the citizenry, even beyond what we are doing as Mutegi, it's for the citizenry to know this country is theirs, and to know that the politicians will never be the solution to their problems. Politicians are the problems themselves.
Yeah. But why we are like sticking on this, we're like a dog with a bone on this one.
Yes.
Report came out which month last year?
Our report?
Yes.
September 2025.
September 2025.
Yeah.
Daniel Mutegi has been CEO for how long?
1 year.
Okay.
Starts from April. last year.
April. So Daniel Mutegi released the report.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The strategies that you're saying, community engagement,
Yeah.
citizens awareness and
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
criminal prosecution,
Yeah.
going after all these people.
Yeah.
Since September
Yeah.
to July, how many months are those? Or to a more month? It's heading to
8 months.
It's
Oh,
8
so-
months, right?
Okay.
None of that has happened.
No, a lot has happened.
A lot has not happened,
A lot has
Mutegi,
happened.
because you have not gone after the financials, have you? No.
No, because I lack
Okay.
the commissioners. really,
Okay.
to act.
The citizens today are not walking out of political rallies because of the sensitization by NCIC. Are they? No.
Some have started. We
because
have
of-
seen some boldness.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
which one?
Even let's say on what is going on Karau, citizens, both sides, you see what they have done.
Yeah.
But you can see citizens are going to vote peacefully. You can see there's a lot of enlightenment. They are accepting anyone who comes.
So has NCIC held a meeting in Okalau that has sensitized people that there's a grave danger of
Yes.
organized criminal gangs?
NCIC convened what we call an interreligious meeting last week but one, where all the religious leaders from different denominations and religions were able to do a mammoth rally, where read by our Reverend Josam Kariuki there. And we were able to tell the citizens to have peace and peaceful coexistence, and to accept different opinions, and then vote with their conscience.
Did you present to them the report? Or
We did.
highlights of the report?
No, highlight of the report, not
Okay.
the main report.
Now,
Yeah.
this is halfway,
Yeah,
more than halfway into the campaign. Violence was happening.
Yeah.
Violence has happened thereafter.
yeah, yeah,
Basically, Mutegi, what we're saying is
yeah.
the reason
Yeah.
why NCIC was formed
Yes.
was after 2007,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And the people, the men and women who sat in that room, led by Kofi Annan,
Yeah.
were like, we need to work on several things. One of them
Yeah.
is cohesion amongst our communities.
yes,
Because if we don't have that,
Yeah.
we shall end up with a worse situation.
yes,
Here we are, don't work we have that, but we are about to end up in that situation.
Yeah.
And then we have that commission has not done much to forestall
the challenges.
the challenges.
But I can
I
assure
see
you,
why people are asking, so why do we need NCIC?
I can assure you,
Indeed.
if we didn't have NCIC, these politicians, you keep hearing them say that I'm here, let NCIC come and arrest me. If NCIC is not there, by the fact that we have NCIC, people, first of all, somehow behave as they do their things, number one. Number two, I've told you NCIC was in the deep. Now we have started to revive that NCIC. And in the next few months, we have even done a roadmap to a peaceful 2027 general election. A very good roadmap that tags on what we need to do now, during the elections and after the elections. So we are committed to doing our mandate, including peace education, including outreach, including research, into issues that affect.
You know, it's very heartbreaking to look at two realities.
Yeah.
There's the reality that we keep witnessing on the ground and
Yeah.
what's happening, and then to hear a commission as yours
Yeah.
come out and defend the commission because you do believe that you're still doing the
Relevant.
work that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then we had two senators last year who
Yeah.
came out very strongly and said
Yeah.
NCIC should be disbanded
Yeah.
and their work transferred to more serious commissions. That's a very serious verdict.
You need to investigate why those and who are they and why were they saying so. Maybe there are people on our radar. There are people we investigate.
Valid.
Let me ask, Daniel.
Yeah.
Who in the commission's history
Yeah.
from formation?
Yeah.
Give me one either recommendation for prosecution, something that the commission did. You know when you say naiwe funzo kwao, right?
Yeah.
Na ikakuwa funzo kwao.
Ikakuwa funzo.
A success story as such, with a name big enough for me to recognize.
You remember the Pangani 6? Remember the case of the Pangani 6?
Actually.
Yeah.
Which are the Pangani
Where
six?
was there was Moses Kuria,
Oh.
William Kabogo, which other guy? The Pangani 6. And those guys are even now. Whenever I meet Moses Kuria, he's a very good friend of the commission.
Moses Kuria has still been spewing very hateful rhetoric.
No, no.
He has.
Even now.
When was
Yeah. So I'm saying, apart from that hate speech cases, remember, we have successfully resolved the border conflict in northern Kenya. I don't know, maybe you are Gen Z, some of you, I don't know. But you remember there used to be a lot of conflicts in northern Kenya. Marsabit, Wajir,
Yeah.
Mandera, deaths were happening every year. It is because of NCIC that those 5 counties were able to stop the conflict. My own Tharaka Nithi County and Meru County have been in many years of fighting, and it has been able to stop. Kericho County and Kisumu County and Narok, you know, they have been fighting for many years, but because of NCIC, they have stopped. Remember, we have also held a lot of transgeneration conversations, and the young people are now coming up to talk. We have also done a lot of peace education. There's a school in Kwale, 2 schools that and historical challenges, they could even not meet War Boys and the other, I don't remember the name, but because of NCIC, they are able to correlate well. So NCIC, because of the work of peace, you asked me earlier, you know, you cannot quantify peace. Cannot quantify cohesion. But I can assure you, my good guys, we are doing a lot. We have the challenges, yes, and we take note of what you are saying. And in the next few months, you are going to see a lot of action.
I'll be honest, if I ask for success stories and the first example is Moses Kuria, hey, we're not doing well.
Actually, I've looked up the Pangani 6.
The Pangani 6.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm just trying to see the names on
The
that.
names of the people.
So there was Moses
Moses
Kuria,
Kuria,
Johnson
Johnson Mudhama.
Kimani Gunjiri, Ferdinand Waititu,
Oh, there was no
Timothy Bosira,
Kabogo.
and Jeanette Mohammed.
Jeanette Mohammed, yeah.
Jeanette Mohammed was summoned just the other day again over a similar issue. If I'm
Hey,
not
we have
wrong.
summoned them, yes. Yes.
Do you
And
see
we are
the
following.
pattern?
We are following.
Ikiwa funzo kwa mtu, will you really have to deal with them again? No.
You know, they are serious offenders. You must agree. They are serious offenders.
Why do we allow for serial offenders to keep their offices? And again, this maybe doesn't fall on you 100% because then we have the IEBC that's supposed to clear you before you run for office. But these are some of the critical issues and questions that we're bringing up as Kenyans. And like you said, in the next few months,
We'll see
official
action.
campaign period starts in August. We have a whole year, but
Yeah.
we shouldn't wait for those few months for us to start seeing some bite coming from NCIC.
That's why we are saying multi-agency team will help. And the last thing we are recommending, we want to do an Amani conference next year when the candidates are cleared. We want every politician to sign a peace and a decency charter.
Okay.
That if you are found your mouth will be foul-mouthed or you are found in hate speech, we will all of us not clear you to vie. So we are doing an Amani conference where all of them will sign a peace and decency charter. And if they violate, they will not be cancelled. But we must do that with the ORPP, IMBC, and all the agencies. We cannot do it alone as NCIC.
As it stands, which names is the NCIC forwarding to the IEBC that these people should not be cleared to stand for office again next year because of the issues we've had with them? And I know I don't expect you to give me like the whole list,
Yeah, the names. Yeah.
but essentially, is it a matter of, you know, if you find next year you've had issues, or is there a continuing thread that these people have been an issue, they continue to be an issue, they continue to spew hate speech? We've summoned them once, twice over the same thing, then we cannot see them on the ballot. So we are recommending to the IEBC that they not be cleared.
We have several names that will be canvassing through the multi-agency team. 58 politicians being actively investigated now for hate speech, and you have mentioned some of them. Others are, of course, in our list. And but you see what the court have been doing. Like now, the case for Kimani Ngujiri, the one that he is fined, yes, 2.5 million by NBC, but then the courts then threw that away. So those are the challenges, but that's where you normally ensure we gather enough evidence because we don't want to do the emotions, we want to do the facts and the realities. And some of the cases that Kenyans say are for NCIC are basically criminal cases, are basically not our mandate, and therefore Kenyans should understand and they should give us time to be able to resolve the issue. But I can tell Kenyans we need NCIC. If we don't have NCIC, then these politicians will behave worse than they have been behaving.
Daniel Mutegi, final question.
Yeah.
Do you think NCIC has powers?
NCIC has a lot of powers, the 20 functions I told you.
Do you think NCIC has the strong teeth to bite using its powers?
It has strong teeth, but it has been affected by finances. Some of the investigations we need to do, some of the logistics we need are not working on our favor or in our favor. We have asked the government to support us to get more funding. One of our challenges for the last 1 year I've been a CEO is the funding to do our in-depth analysis, in-depth investigation, in-depth prosecution of cases.
Do you think NCIC has been infiltrated by politics?
Definitely.
That affects its work.
Yeah, politics even affect the way you are funded. Yeah. Okay. The reason why...
Is NCIC salvageable?
Yes, NCIC is salvageable.
By whom?
The last one here that I've been a CEO, coming from Vision 2030 and housing, is that we are able to do it. We have talked to donors, and most of them are coming back. They had gone away, but now they're coming back. Most of the government institutions have understood our role in the last 1 year, and therefore they are willing now in this coming budget and the budget cycle starting now. I'm going to support more of NCIC so that we can return the glory of NCIC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Daniel Mutegi,
Yeah.
as you go back, please tell your secretariat and your commissioners that any blood that's spilled in Kenya as a result of hate speech, as a result of violence that could have been avoided and is not avoided, is on your hands.
Oh, that's a powerful...
You are the reason why we created you, so that no more people die. So every time somebody dies, the commissioners, the secretariat, all of them, the blood is on your hands.
We will do our best.
All right, Daniel Mutegi is the CEO of NCIC. In the next hour, we keep looking at what's happening in All Cloud. Plus, we will have a different conversation for a little bit. We'll be talking to KenGen, the Kenya Electricity Generating Company, to find out stima. Tunaongeza stima yetu ama tutaenda kununua tu Ethiopia. Sasa tunaonunua Ethiopia.
It's a GERD.
It's a GERD. Where else are you buying power? Back in a moment.
Okay.